I loved my seminar because the two subjects, like classics and zoology, seem so unrelated, and it was just like a really funny combination and something that I really enjoyed exploring in a really like low stress, just learning for learning's sake kind of environment. One thing to consider is when you're applying, maybe don't apply to the top 5 most popular seminars taught by the most sort of famous professors, because then it's a little bit more likely that you just won't get into one. But if you choose ones that are a little bit off the beaten path, you'll have an opportunity to learn something really cool and get to know cool professors.
So I took 2 freshman seminar classes during freshman year, and both were really life-changing experiences. You take a risk. You try something that you normally would not be interested in. You know, you may not be an English major, but yet you still want to know something about English literature. You may not be a professional physicist, or you may not want to pursue a career in physics, but maybe you still want to know a little bit about how the universe works. Whatever the case, I suggest that you try something off the beaten path. This is a very low pressure, low risk setting for you to just learn as much as you want. And it may, change your life.
I think it fostered a connection that from there has grown now into research opportunities. I took a freshman seminar in the fall, and after the fall, I was offered a research position in the spring term, which I took up and have held that position for about, now what's that, 2 years? And have since moved on to have my own project, and I'm working on presenting research with the research group in New Orleans next week. So, and it all kind of grew out of the freshman seminar, so that's really nice.
I would really encourage incoming freshmen to enroll in a freshman seminar, because I think that as a freshman, a lot of the introductory courses that you take can be very large, both in size and in scope, and so having the chance to be part of a small group of people, to focus on one particular topic, to interact closely with the professor is something quite unique to the freshman seminar program, and it can be very helpful for somebody navigating a very large university with a lot of diverse courses and curricula.
I think when you first start your seminar, you might be a little intimidated because you are in such close contact with a big name professor. But you will get comfortable with it fairly quickly, and you'll grow to really like it. So then when you go to other classes where the interaction might not be quite as close, you'll feel more comfortable going to your professor's office hours or talking to him after class, which is really helpful.
I think it's a great idea for incoming freshmen to enroll in a freshman seminar. I would strongly suggest it to anyone. I think it's a great way to interact with faculty on a much more one-on-one level than you get in a lot of other entry-level classes, which are large lecture hall classes or courses where you don't have that much time to actually talk with the professor. And so that, I think, is more, if I had to list one thing, that's the one reason I would say to do a freshman seminar.
The freshman seminar that I teach has perhaps the greatest impact on students because of this intimate learning environment. And I think it's probably, I think it is really the most satisfying course that I teach.
Class each week was essentially a discussion with 12 of us sitting around the table arguing out those points and challenging each other's assertions, and Professor Manon challenging us to think in different ways. And I think, unlike the rest of my courses, this really allowed me to take ownership over the material, and because we had a hand in each week in what we were discussing and had some stake in it. And one of the great things about the freshman seminar is that you're sitting, with a few people, and in my class it was 12 of us sitting around a table with one of the top faculty members here. And you look across the freshman seminar program, and in sciences, literature, history, whatever it may be, you have experts in their given field, some of the best teachers and writers in the world, giving direct feedback and thought to freshmen and having discourse, which I think is a pretty amazing opportunity.
As a freshman, you're mostly taking survey classes that occur in lecture halls, but a seminar is usually capped at about 12 people. So we had 11 in mine, and it's a really close-knit community. You feel very comfortable sharing your thoughts with these people. It's a very dynamic discussion. You also get to know your professor. The idea of being able to take an intellectual risk, dive into something that you may have, only a passing curiosity about, but perhaps discovering something that you really enjoy.